Hey socialites, welcome back. And if you're new here, I'm Ariell. I do mainly beauty videos, fragrance, and lifestyle. So if those are the type of videos you enjoy, I would love for you to hit the subscribe button and come join the family. So the Sephora savings event has rolled right back around. It actually starts on November the 1st, this Friday, for Rouge members, in which you receive 20% off your entire purchase. And the sale begins for VIB and Insider members on November the 5th, and the sale ends on November the 11th. And regardless of your tier on all Sephora Collection items, the sale starts on the 1st through the 11th, and you receive 30% off on all Sephora Collection products. This is actually the biggest sale that Sephora has only twice a year, so it's one of the more exciting sales for the beauty lovers. So I'm going to start off with skincare. First is actually from Sulwhasoo. It's the Gentle Cleansing Foam. This has definitely crept up to one of my top favorite cleansers. It's a gentle cleanser, but it cleans as if it double cleans. That's how deep of a clean it does. This is one of the few cleansers that I use that if I go back over my face with like a toner, no makeup comes off. That's how good it is. And then next is the Tatcha the rice wash. So this is another really good one. This is my first time buying a full size of this. Now this is actually was a limited edition jumbo size that came out during the last sale, I want to say, and I caught it like the first day right before it sold out. It sold out really quick. This is so worth the money. That's the only reason why I never really picked this one up, even though I heard so many great things about it. It's so expensive. So if you want to pick this up now, would definitely be the time. It's a soft cream cleanser, and it feels like there are tiny bits in it that gently exfoliates. Very, very gentle. And similar to the Sulwhasoo, it gets everything off. Moving on to toners, the Caudalie Clean Toner. That's probably, not even probably, that's my most purchased toner. I've purchased it maybe about 5 or 6 times at this point. I'm out of it, so I can't show you guys the bottle. I accidentally bought the Vino Perfect toner. One of the sales, I think like the sale before last, you guys, I immediately could tell the difference. It's sort of burned. So I went back and exchanged it for the Vino Clean. It helps balance your skin out, and I can tell an immediate difference on how like it brightens my skin and soothes my skin. I love it. This is the Dr. Dennis Gross Universal Peel Pads. Now these are, you probably hear so many people talk about them, but for good reason. This one is the Universal because they have like different strengths, and I think Universal is like the middle strength, and then they have one that's like an extra strength or something like that. So the pads do come with the step 1 and step 2. If you're having like active breakouts or your skin is really going through it, hyperpigmentation, pores, or congestion in the skin, this is like my emergency pack. That's how I view these. It's like my emergency pack when my skin is going through it, and usually within a week or so I'll see a difference with my skin starting to clear up. Vitamin C, I've been using the same one for maybe about 3 or 4 years now, which is the CEO Vitamin C Serum from Sunday Riley. A lot of the socialites really love this one, and I do too. Every time it goes on sale, I do post it in the community tab for you guys. It's like your skin gets a boost. You instantly see your skin looks brighter. But whenever you use vitamin C, you want to make sure that you use a good sunscreen as well. But this one I highly recommend. It's a really good one. So moving on to a couple moisturizers. The Clinique 100-Hour Moisture Surge. This is the big boy. So if you watch my makeup tutorials, I use this every single time I do my makeup before I go in with primer. Not only is it really hydrating, but it soaks into the skin fairly quickly without leaving any type of residue. It's not oily, it's not thick or heavy, so my makeup glides on really smooth with it. And for night cream, the IT Cosmetics Confidence in Your Beauty Sleep. It's my favorite night cream. It's on the heavier side, but it has ingredients in here, you guys, that sort of plumps the skin. I've been using it for about maybe 2 years, maybe a little bit longer than 2 years now. I did a sponsorship with IT Cosmetics a couple years ago, and this happened to be in like the products that they sent over, and immediately what I noticed was I put it on my skin. I have this had this permanent line right across here, and the first time I used this cream, that's the first thing that I noticed was it sort of plumped my skin and filled that line in, and I've been using this for my night cream ever since. The last sale I tried out the Sephora Collection Nourishing Moisturizer. It has prebiotics in it, 96% natural ingredients, and fell in love, you guys. I liked it so much that before the sale was over, I ended up going back and getting another one. So this is the second one. It's almost out, so I'll definitely have to repurchase another one when the sale starts on Friday. But it's unscented, it's just very gentle and clean. It's just as if you put water in your skin. So it's highly moisturizing, but it doesn't leave any type of residue. It doesn't do that plumping or anything like that. It's just like a good, solid, clean moisturizer. Now for eye creams, the Ole Henricksen Vitamin C eye cream is one of my favorites. I really love that one. So I'll be picking that one up during the sale. And then the Clinique eye cream is excellent. It instantly brightens. The Ole Henricksen does too. When you put it on, you immediately see like that bright looking under eye, which I love, especially on days that I don't have makeup on. It just gives me that like bright look. The next product has probably made the biggest difference on my skin this year, y'all, and I love it. I can't see myself being without it at this point. And this is the Dr. Dennis Gross LED mask. So I bought it in a set that comes with the mask. It also comes with a serum. It's like a retinol serum, the Fill and Repair serum. And then it comes with some of those Dr. Dennis Gross peel pads that I told you guys about. And it's the same cost. It comes in a bundle for the same cost of what it would cost if you bought the mask by itself. So you might as well get the bundle. I noticed on the website that they have a pink one on there with different skincare in it. It still comes with the serum, which the serum is excellent, by the way, but I didn't want to go too far off in skincare because that really could have been its own separate video. It's just talking about the skincare, but it comes with a bigger size of the Fill and Repair, which is so good. It's like a game changer, that serum. It's made the biggest difference on my smile lines. So here's the mask. It's a beautiful rose gold color. Little button right here. You press the button and it has like the red light function, which is for anti-aging, like fine lines and wrinkles. And then if you press it again, it turns like a purpley color, and that's for like acne. And then the third time, the purple and the red lights come on, and that's for acne and anti-aging. I use it every single night, by the way, which is what the directions recommend. This is something that takes a few months to start seeing results, and I didn't see, many results the first month, which I really didn't expect to see much results because they say it takes about 9 to 10 weeks before you start seeing results. So I kept using it, but going into the second month, I just started doing for anti-aging. So by the time I went into the third month, what I noticed the most was my smile lines, and that line right there had just really started easing up, because at that point last year when I first started using it, when I would do my makeup, even here with you guys, I would have to put concealer right in here because it was becoming kind of sunken right here, and it would give it the illusion of it being really dark right there. So to counter that, I would put concealer to sort of brighten around this area. But you guys, now I don't put any concealer right there. But this has been a year. Has it been a year? Like 6 months to a year of me using this mask. I want to say like 6 months or so. It's really softened the lines right here, and I'm so happy about that because it was really starting to bother me. I even said on one of my videos that I was thinking about getting fillers and they were in the comments like, girl, don't mess with your face, don't get no fillers. But I didn't, and I'm so glad that I didn't, because 6 months with the mask, I no longer have to put concealer right there. And this line, sometimes by the end of the day I still see it, but it's nowhere near how it was. It's just like a little soft faint line right there. So that's mostly the difference that I saw, which is really why I wanted to get the mask for the most part. Those were my problem areas, and for acne, but my acne has kind of cleared up with, the other products that I showed you guys. So overall, I do think it's well worth the money, and I would definitely repurchase it if this thing ever goes out. But I think it's supposed to last you at least 10 years or so. We're gonna move on to primers, you guys. guys, I hope this isn't too redundant, and I think I told you guys this last time. Sometimes I feel like when I do the recommendation video for the sale that I'm just talking about the same thing, but I try so many new products and it just is what it is. Just because a product is new doesn't mean it's like better than what you've already been using. You know what I mean? So with that being said, lately I've fallen in love. When I say lately, I mean probably like within the last 6 months or so, I've fallen in love with the Caliray So Blown Blurring Primer. So it's sort of like it wants to be a putty-like slash gel-like texture, but this one is more so for oily skin. Can't say enough good things. I only use it in the areas where I need it, which is usually like the T-zone. Keeps my makeup in place all day for the most part. If you have dry skin, this one is gonna be a no for you. So another primer that I really love, and this one I've been using for years. It's like a moisturizer and primer hybrid. So for me, this is really good for dry skin and normal to combo skin. And it's the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. I love when you can skip a step. Your makeup goes on so smooth with this. Now with this one, it doesn't really help to extend the wear of your makeup super long, maybe a little bit. Gives your makeup a more smooth, hydrated appearance. This is really good, especially for my ladies over 30, 40. Really any age, but for my ladies over 30 or 40. Moving on to the Fenty primers, I love them. All of them. I don't actually use them on myself. I use them on the occasions where I'm doing a client. This one's the Soft Matte Primer. It does just that. It gives you a soft matte appearance to the skin and it holds you in. It definitely extends the wear of your makeup. And the makeup is so smooth. I mean, like picture perfect with this one. Now they also have one that's like a more hydrating one that I use on my dry skin clients. I love it. I love it. I've been using these Fenty primers on my clients since like 2019 and I don't have anything bad to say about them. And the last primer that I want to touch on is the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Balm. This one's in the shade Universal. So it's like a balm putty-like situation that sort of turns into powder on the skin. It does have this little scoop here where you can sort of scoop out the product. Now this is only for my ladies who have extremely oily skin. I could never use this. I have sort of that normal combo skin, but this is fantastic for my oily skin ladies. If you have problems with your makeup lasting all day long or looking shiny, you won't have that issue with this. This is like magic. Moving on to my favorite, which is foundation. I love foundations, y'all. I would love to try every foundation that ever comes out. I'm just a complexion girly. I love foundation, okay? So we're gonna briefly talk about the Haus Labs foundation, which is actually my favorite foundation. It's one of the best on the planet, and I feel like it's the best of every world. This gives you a medium to full coverage. I get about 6 hours on my skin before I start to see shine, and that's without a primer. So with the Caliray Primer, I get pretty much like all day wear. Y'all, it's so beautiful on the skin. It doesn't look heavy. It just gives you that beautiful picture perfect look. Now this is a made up look. You know how when a foundation is so beautiful, sometimes people say it looks just like skin. It's absolutely gorgeous, but it does not look like skin in my opinion. If I had a client that needed skin-like makeup application where it didn't look like they had on makeup, this would not be what I reach for. So it definitely gives made up, but it doesn't give heavy. It blends seamlessly, and even if you have dry skin, I feel like you can get away with this. And if you have oily skin, it will work excellent as well. Just use one of the oil controlling primers that I told you guys about. Now, just like skincare, for me, foundation could be a rabbit hole, you guys. So I can't really talk about all of them. I really want to do a video where I just sort of go over all of my foundations. And let's move on to something a little bit more sheer, you guys. And this may have bumped my favorite skin tint out of the way. This is one of Sephora Collection's products, which is the Reveal the Real Radiant Skin Tint. It's gorgeous. You can get a light coverage with this. You can get a medium buildable coverage, not quite full though. And it just looks so silky and buttery on the skin. It glides on so easily and it's super long lasting. I have the shade 250O. This is how it looks. Oh, it just blends like butter. did the review maybe like a few weeks ago, and after I did the review, I wore the foundation like the next 3 days after that, which for me is a lie. I try to switch it up, but I just kept reaching for it. It's really nice. So if you're somebody that likes sort of that sheer to medium coverage, or if you like medium buildable, you might want to try this. And especially because Sephora Collection is 30% off instead of whatever your tier is, this will be the best bet. Now, another skin tint that I think is excellent, y'all, I love it. It's so beautiful on the skin. It blends so well. You can use your fingers, which is the Summer Fridays skin tint. I wear the shade 7. It's my closest match, which is a little dark for me, a little, but that little bit of dark kind of bothers me. So I wish they would come out with like something in between that would work better for me. But it's so gorgeous on the skin. It doesn't build up quite as much as you can build up the Sephora skin tint, but it's beautiful. So if you like more like that sheer to medium coverage and you want your skin to just look like butter and silk, try the Summer Friday skin tint. It's the Lancome Care and Glow, the Tinty Care and Glow foundation. This is one of those skincare pack foundations. It works, skincare is working while you're wearing it, and you see the results of it after you wash your face. So as soon as you put it on, you'll notice that your skin looks juicier and more plump. And after you wash it off, your skin still looks juicy and plump. And the more you wear it, the more you'll see those type of results, if you get what I mean. This is beautiful. When someone says a foundation looks like skin, this is what they're talking about. And because of that, I love to wear it because I get that great coverage. But sometimes when I go out, I just don't want to look made up. Even how my foundation looks now or how my makeup looks now, I would prefer not to look this made up on just day to day, running to the school, maybe just running to Target. This, you can be made up without looking so made up, and that's why I love this one so much. And it's long wearing. I don't really get shine. It also has sunscreen SPF 27 in it, but I don't really get shine out of this. Maybe like a all day wear, like a 12+ hour day, I might get a little shine, but usually I do the Caliray Primer and put this on and I'm good to go from like morning to night. I do know some of you guys prefer to wear a powder foundation, and I do have 2 really good recommendations for you, and both of these are excellent. It's almost tough to tell you guys which one I love the most, but I'm gonna say the Makeup Forever. I actually had this one on this morning. I had a meeting this morning. This one's the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet, HD Matte Velvet Powdered Foundation, and it is beautiful. Now this does give you a really natural look on the skin, and it's gorgeous. A little bit goes a long way. I recommend using a big fluffy brush and really buffing it good in the skin without adding too much. I'm in the shade 4R61, and this shade matches really good for me. And then the Sephora Collection powder. This one is the Matte Foundation Powder. I'm in the shade 35P. This is a good shade match for me as well. Once I buff it in really good, it does oxidize slightly, which makes it almost like my perfect skin tone. Very similar. This one's a lot cheaper too. And remember, Sephora Collection, you get 30% off of all Sephora Collection. So this may be one to look into. This one's beautiful as well. So we're gonna move on to concealers, the Dior Forever and the Haus Labs. I love them both. It just depends on what I'm going for. So the Dior Forever Skin Correct, I do have them in 4.5 and 3.5 just to like brighten the inner corners. The formula is too good. Okay, this one gives you full coverage. This is 4.5 right here, so it gives you full coverage. It blends like butter. And this is 3.5. The creasing is very minimal. Haus Labs, this is medium to full coverage, whereas in the Dior is like a straight up full coverage. Because my under eyes are already sort of bright with the eye creams that I use, I can get away with medium coverage. So I would say, depending on what you need, if you need more of a full coverage or you prefer full coverage, I would go with the Dior Dior Forever Skin Correct. But if you need more of a medium coverage, the Haus Labs is a gorgeous option. You can go in with one more layer and get that full coverage, so you can build it up to what you need. So this shade is 40 and this shade is 34. So moving on to cream contours. If you wear cream contours, I know some people only do like powdered contours or bronzers. This is the LYS cream bronzing stick or contour stick. This is my #1 most used. I'm in the shade Courage. Ladies, my shade used the shade that's one darker than this, but I prefer, as you guys can see, a more subtle contour bronzing shade. It gives me a nice subtle contour that I can see, but it just looks a little bit more natural, which I love. It's a creamy product, as you can see, which makes it really easy to blend out. And this component is so easy to travel with, and because it's in this sort of stick form, it makes it easy to apply. Most used by far. Now the next one I've really gotten to know over the past couple months, and I'm so glad that I started using it more. I've fallen in love with it. So this is the Saie Dew Bronze, and I have the shade Stinson. Now this one is unique in that it's sort of this creamy formula. This is the Saie one right here. Really easy to blend out as well, but what's different about it, when you blend it out, it leaves like this subtle radiance to the skin, which is why it's called Dew Bronze. Let's say you're somebody who uses a lot of matte products, or you like to powder your skin down, but you want something to give a little radiance. You see how I'm matte in most of the areas, but then you see that radiance here? It's because I went in with the Saie Dew Bronze that gives you that radiance to the cheek or wherever you place it. Usually I place it just sort of like in this area here, but it's really nice. It took me a little while to sort of understand this one, but I highly recommend it if you want something to give you a little bit more radiance. So if you're somebody that likes to do the powdered bronzers or contour, Hyper Bronze is too good, especially if you want like a more luxe option. This one's in the shade 05. The color looks really good on me. Again, you guys know I like more of like a subtle bronze contour, and this gives me that. It definitely shows up on the skin. It's more so of a matte formula, so keep that in mind, but it looks really great. It's so smooth. It doesn't apply patchy, which is really important when you're using like powder bronzers and contour. For me, this gives me more like a powdered bronzer, not really like a contour. But then another one that I love is the NARS Laguna bronzers. These have actually been around for a while, and I use Laguna #6. So this one gives me a little deeper of like a contour, which, you know, I like this days that I want to do more glam or a little bit more dramatic, but I can also get away with this if I use a fluffier brush or a light hand. This one's a little heavier of pigment than the YSL one, so I find myself pulling for the YSL more. So let's talk about some blush options. If you want subtle, if you want very much effortless and sheer, I highly recommend the NARS Afterglow blushes. That's what this is going to give you. It's going to give you sheer pigment. It's going to give you that very much like that pinched cheek look, which I love it. I love it, especially on the subtle days, and I love a terracotta shade in a blush. And this one is Orgasm Rush. So creamy, and you would think how the swatch looks that it'd be super pigmented, but it's not, y'all. Once you start blending, it shears out like so effortlessly. I'm gonna use the back of this brush to show y'all, like, you see what I mean? Like, it just gives you that flush, and it's called Afterglow because it does leave a bit of a glow. So again, sort of like the Saie Dew Bronze, it's gonna give you that same type of effect. And this is Dolce Vita, which looks even more subtle on my skin tone, but you can really see it, especially because it has that glow to it. So on my skin tone, Dolce Vita really gives me that pinched cheek look. So let's move on to something that packs a little bit more of a punch. If you wanted a blush blush that's really gonna have that color to it. But if you want to sheer it out some, you still could if you only used a little bit. And it's the Rare Beauty liquid blushes. I have to do a terracotta shade in every brand. With these, you want to always start off with a little bit, because with Rare Beauty, a little bit goes a long way. These are quite pigmented. So this one's Love and this one is Happy. These are my two most used from the brand. So if you were looking for something that was sort of in between, you wanted something with more color payoff than afterglow, or maybe let's say you didn't want the glow. Caudalie multi-sticks are gorgeous. They're called the Desert Date sticks, and they're called multi-sticks because you can use them on the face or the lips. So this one is Spice, and it's in this stick form. And this next one is Flame, which is a beautiful orangey shade. And then this pink one is Pink Sail. The video where I did maybe a week or two ago, my fall favorites, a few people asked me what blush I had on, and it was this one. It's so beautiful. Imagine this on the cheek and then like a soft lip or soft everything else. I do want to mention a couple powder blushes in case you're a powder blush girly. A powder blush is going to be quicker and easier to apply, especially if you're a beginner or you're somebody that doesn't have that much time when you do your makeup. So the Pat McGrath powder blushes are excellent. This one's in the shade Paradise Venus, which is, y'all know how I am with these terracotta shades. This is a lovely, lovely formula, like an ever so slight sheen to it, but it looks absolutely gorgeous on really any skin tone. But if you're a couple shades lighter than me, all the way to like a deep dark skin tone, this is beautiful. The Charlotte Tilbury Chic to Chic blush, this one is in Intense. There's a lighter one, but this is the deeper one. It's unique in that it has this sort of, again, terracotta shade, but it's not as pigmented as the Pat McGrath one. So it gives you like a more natural application. And in the middle, it has a pink shade that has sheen to it. So you can swirl your brush throughout and get a little bit of a sheen to the blush, or you could just use the outside and keep your blush matte. Easy to apply and it'll never be too much. Haus Labs is sort of new to me, y'all, like within the past few months, but I like it. And I like to use this blush as like a transition blush. I have two blushes that I use for that. This one is Fire Moon from Haus Labs. Y'all, this powder is so soft, you would think it's cream. That's how soft it is. When I say transition, you know how some people are turned off from blush because it feels like just a patch of color, right? Imagine having that, you know, you added the color to the cheek, but you took a shade like this. You could go in here and just blend over the top edge of your blush, and it just sort of helps to fade and make it like a more seamless transition with your blush. So it's not like a stamp of color and then the rest of your skin. It helps it to sort of fade off and look a little bit more effortless. So I love Fire Moon for that, and it has a little bit of sheen to it that also makes it seem as if I have a little bit of highlight. This is really nice, but the formula is so good. There's another one that I use in the same way, which is what I'm using today, is the Dior one. And this is the shade Pink, and it's a cool tone pink. You would think it doesn't work for like African-American skin tones, but it absolutely does. If I'm wearing like a pink blush, no matter how deep it is, or, you know, I could go over this the same way, just sort of fade the top of it, and it just makes it so seamless. And it's just, I love these. Setting powders. This is another rabbit hole for me. There's so many. So I'm only going to mention a few that I think is like best of the best. But like I said, there's so many really good ones. So with the powders and really with anything else, if you want to specifically know about a certain product, comment down below if you want to ask me what I think about it, or I'll probably have a video up already on my channel if you just want to type in my name and the name of the product, or feel free to DM me on Instagram. I always respond, you know, as long as I have time. Ask me whatever you want. I'll try to help you guys out as much as I can. Loose setting powders, my number one favorite would have to be, well, it's hard to say, let's say top three. Would have to be the One Size Ultra Pink. It's the ultimate setting powder in the shade Ultra Pink. That's what it is. Really, really good. I'm wearing it all over today. I set under my eye and then I sort of lightly set all over with it, but it is so flawless. It doesn't look too matte, but it mattifies. I love when a makeup artist comes out with products because a lot of times they just get it. So he got it right with this one. I love this. I had to mention the OG, the original Laura Mercier loose setting powder. I'm pretty much out of this. It may be a little bit left in the bottom of here, but it's in this packaging because this was like a limited edition holiday packaging. I always get the shade translucent. As you can see, there's not really color to it. I use this on clients because I've been purchasing this the longest. I know how it's going to photograph. This is a staple for me. I will always repurchase, you guys. But if you're wondering about the newer formula, which is the Ultra Blur, which is this one is good too. I just prefer to set under eye only. With the original Laura Mercier and with the one size, I can set an entire face all over with it. But to me, sometimes with this one, if you do all over, it can kind of lighten the complexion a little bit. I highly recommend it. I just don't set all over with it. Loose powders that I just mentioned are kind of like for the makeup look. You set your face with those and you know it's there, but in a good way. Like my makeup today, for those who want like that undetectable makeup look, or you want something that's just ultra natural and that gives you like a skin look, because those powders, it's not a skin finish. These almost give skin. Saie, this is the most natural powder that I own. When you set with this one, it almost looks like it's not there. This one's in the shade translucent medium. So on a day that you want to use, like say the Summer Friday skin tint, or you truly want to do your makeup or client's makeup and it doesn't look like they have makeup on, but you need to slightly mattify, Saie is probably what you want to use. And the Colé, it's another really natural powder, similar, but it doesn't look as natural as the Saie, even though this looks really natural. It's called the Skin Melt and it does just that. If you have any type of liquid on your face, whether you want to set a foundation, a blush, or a concealer, this literally melts into the skin. I love to see the comments on days that I use the Colé powder because I already know somebody's gonna say, wow, it literally melted into your skin. That's why it's called Skin Melt. So again, Colé did their big one with this one. If you're into pressed powders, I do have a few that I love. It's from Sephora Collection. Again, 30% off all Sephora Collection products. I'm in the shade Mahogany that I use all over. This one's Ebony and this one's Mahogany. So this one I use all over and this one I sort of just use to bronze. And this pressed powder gives you a natural skin finish. I like to compare it to MAC Cosmetics Mineralized Skin Finish. This doesn't have as much pigment as the MAC one. So if you wanted like a powder that's not too heavy, you're somebody that uses a full coverage foundation. So you want your setting powder to be on the less pigmented side. This one's a really good one, and it's not gonna look matte. It's gonna be a little bit more like a soft matte or like a natural finish to it. These are excellent. Or a pressed powder that's gonna give you glam, no mistaking about it, the type of glam where people are gonna take a double take type of glam. The YSL Hyper Finish powder. This is one of their newer products. I think it came out about a year ago and I've been obsessed. This one's in the shade 08. It has like a soft matte finish. This one's going to give you more coverage than the Sephora Collection powder. This gives, I have on makeup that was done by a professional, or I'm a professional type of look. You know what I mean? So it's pigmented. It's really, the powder is so soft, it almost gives creamy. Well worth the price because it makes your skin look like you paid some money, okay? One of the standouts from YSL in my opinion. So let's talk about a finishing powder. This is the powder that I apply under my eyes to give me that smooth, ultra flawless under eye. And this one's the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder in the shade 2 Medium. I've been wearing this for years. This is a step that I will not miss with my makeup. I typically apply it with something fluffy like this and just sort of just smooth right under here, and it makes such a difference with your makeup. When you talk about finishing touches, you can't skip this step, you guys. And one of the things I like the most about this formula is you can't apply too much. The heavy under eye, there's nothing worse than that. This one never applies too heavy, so that's why I like it so much. So let's talk about adding a little bit of sheen to your face. This is the Hourglass Ambient Powder in the shade Eternal Light. This is an obsession. It gives a beautiful, gorgeous, soft sheen to the skin. If you're somebody that wears nothing but matte powders on your face and you wanted to give it the illusion of that you have a glow, or the illusion of like oils coming through the skin, sort of like how I have this sort of healthy glow coming through, that's what this is going to give you. You see that? You see that beautiful sheen compared to this, and now you see that effortless, she's not trying to do too much type of glow. Another one that's really nice, but the glow is a little heavier than the Hourglass, is from this Dior palette. This is a really great palette that gives you that soft sheen to the skin as well, and the bronze shade, it sort of gives you that as well. So this is the Hourglass and that's the Dior. Still not like a super bright highlight type of a glow either, but there is a difference. See how the lighter gold looks. I'll put it here. See how that's like a highlight. That's the pink one. So I'll use this with like a fluffier brush for like a blush topper. Another option is the Sephora Collection has these luminizers that came out this year, I want to say, in the shade Blinding Bronze. And this is another beautiful option for like adding sheen to the skin. So that's beautiful as well, and it gives you like that effortless sheen too. And remember, 30% off of Sephora Collection, because to me this gives sort of like what a high-end product would give. So two eyeshadow palettes that I wanted to mention. The Patrick Ta Major Dimension 3 palette. To me, this is the perfect everyday palette. This is work, this is date night, this is anything in between. The two shades on this side are actually creams that you could use as eyeliners or bases for your eyeshadows. They're really smooth and creamy pigment. They blend really easily. They have cool tones in here mixed with warm tones. The quality of this palette and the color combo for what anybody could use is 10 out of 10. The YSL Couture clutches are also really great eyeshadows. This one does come in several different colorways. These shadows are so soft, they almost feel like they could be a cream. That's the shimmery one. Isn't it beautiful? The brown, they just feel so buttery and so high quality. I was thinking about getting another one that had a different color combination in here, but I like this one because it has every color that you need to complete a full look. Every palette doesn't do that, like the little small ones. The Sephora Collection 12-hour eyeliner pencils are some really good pencils, very long lasting and smooth on the eye so they don't tug. That's Coconut. I'm actually wearing it in my waterline today. The next one is in the shade Tiramisu, which is a really dark brown. And another thing that I really love about the 12-hour pencils from Sephora Collection, not only the fact that we're going to get 30% off during the sale, is that it gives you enough playing time to blend it out and smudge your eyeliner before it dries on you, which is really important. I can't stand when I'm putting on the eyeliner and before I can grab my brush, it's already stuck on there. And if you more so prefer a felt tip liner, my number one favorite is going to be the Rare Beauty Perfect Strokes. I think it only comes in black. This is it. I just did several strokes so effortlessly. I've been having this for like, I know at least 1.5 years, y'all, and it has not dried out on me one bit, and it still is ultra black as it was the day I got it. Another one that I really like is the Tom Ford Eye Defining Pen. You see that little short tip, but then the opposite side gives you an even shorter tip. So if you need that really fine detail work, this will give you that. My top 3 favorite mascaras at Sephora was really easy. My number one most used is going to be the Fenty Beauty the Hella Thick Mascara. This is what's gonna give you that volume, those full lashes. Really like to use it at the bottom too. This is pretty much volume, but not separation. I love it. I wear this more than anything. If you want separation and volume, the YSL Lash Clash is a fantastic choice. Such a great formula. And this is the wand. And I was thinking, because of the size of the wand, that I had to go in this way, like, you know, like point at the bottom. And how about when I started using it this way, the way you're supposed to like comb through, you know, like brush through your lashes, I get the best application the way you're supposed to use it. Who knew? And then one of my newer faves, I've been using this one for less than a year. The other two I've been using probably like 2 or 3 years. This one I've been using less than a year. I don't think it's the newest Sephora Collection one, but it's one of the newer ones. I think it came out within the past 12 months. It's the Love the Lift Mascara. And this is unique from the other two in that, first of all, look at the curved wand on it. Brush through your lashes, or you comb through your lashes, it curls, it lifts and curls, and it stays curled up. But you have to be careful, because if you use it at the bottom, it's going to curl your lashes down that way, which I'm not a fan of my lashes being curled down, and it did that on me before. So it's going to work both ways. If you like that look, then you'll probably love this, but I really like this one. This is becoming one of my most used, and then 30% off, you know, and I think the regular price of this is like $12 or $15. So Sephora Collection products, don't feel like you're skimping or you're getting something that's like second best, because they have products that are just as great as some of the other brands in the store. Let's talk about a few lipstick formulas. So this is the Westman Atelier lipsticks. They come in this beautiful luxe packaging in Westman Atelier fashion. It's a magnetic top on them, and I have them in 2 shades. LFG, which is this beautiful bright pink, like a deep poppin' pink. And then I have Le Rouge, which is a beautiful orangey shade. They're unique in that they glide on ultra smooth and creamy, but they are extremely long lasting. So applied on the lips, it fills in the lines and gives you an ultra smooth lip, but then it lasts all day and it dries to a soft matte finish. Now these are sort of pricey, but I get the price in the formula that you're getting. Now, if I'm getting a lipstick that applies like any other lipstick, it doesn't do any smoothing, it doesn't last, wears off in a couple of hours, I couldn't see a $50 lipstick. But the formula and the packaging, I get why they cost this much, and they are gorgeous. Now, my favorite lipstick in general is gonna be Pillow Talk from Charlotte Tilbury. This is my most used lipstick color. This is like my everyday lip color. Right here, just a soft neutral, sort of like peachy pinky tone. I always wear some sort of brown liner with it. It's a very creamy formula, and it sort of gives you that satin look to the lip. It's not matte. The Sephora Collection matte lipsticks would be a good option. These are my 3 most used. 10, which is a hot pink similar to the one from Westman Atelier, but this gives you more of an ultra matte finish. Westman Atelier is going to give you like a soft matte finish. I also have it in the shade 25. Something about bright pinks and oranges in me, huh? And then 21 is my most used when I want like a straight up nude shade, or usually I put this on when I'm wearing color on my eyes, and I always pair it with a medium tone brown lip liner. Sephora Collection also has the liquid matte lipsticks that are really good as well. They actually last longer than their matte lipsticks in the bullets that I just showed you guys. They're really opaque and they're super long lasting. They come in so many colors. I want to say like 20 or 30 shades. I have all of the red shades. So the shades 94 and 01 have been my most used reds. Makeup by Mario, plumping glosses. They're almost like water based. So this is the shade Hot Pink that I'm wearing today, right? And so it almost feels like water is going on your lip, and it doesn't do any plumping in my opinion. and it gives you sheer color. These don't really apply well on top of other lip colors, in my opinion. They don't go on smooth, but on your lip by itself, they're stunning. And you saw my lip before I reapplied. I like the way they wear off. And Caramel's sort of like a brownie nude shade, but y'all, these are gorgeous on the lips and unique. The Clarins lip oil. This is my most used lip oil in the shade Pitaya, pink shade, but most of the lip oils go on sort of clear, as you can see, but it leaves like a nice soft pink tint to my lip. Similar to how the plumping glosses are, it wears off really nice, so you don't have to worry about touching up so much, but they're long lasting too. Love these. The Amico Lay lip oil is also a really good one as well. This one is Bliss and this one is Excellence. Now, as far as lip glosses, I do want to mention two brands the socialites put me on, and it's the Lawless glosses. This one is glazed, that almost looks like, it makes your lip look like it's wet. You know, almost makes your lip look like it's mirrored. When I wear the Lawless lip glosses, people always ask me, what is that gloss you have on? Because it's really eye-catching. This one here is in Velvet. Super high shine, makes your lip look like glass. I love them. The Sephora Collection plumping glosses, these are excellent as well. Highly recommend. You guys, another one, especially because of the 30% off discount, you should pick up at least one. In the shade 02, the one at the top. And this one gives you an ultra high shine as well. It does have a small wand, and it does have that sort of mintiness to the formula. That's it right there. But my favorite shade in the Sephora plumping glosses is this one, which is 08, because it has these beautiful glitter reflex. So it's that one right there, if you can see the glitter in it. It's sort of like that old school type gloss formula that's thicker, but for me it helps it to last a lot longer, and they look so gorgeous on the lip. For lip liner, my favorite and most used is the Makeup Forever lip liner in the shade Limitless Brown. They've come out with a new formula that's more long lasting, but I like the original more because you can sort of fade it. I like to sort of feather my lip line in the lip, or fade it, you know, blend it a little bit, and the new formula doesn't give you that playing time, even though it lasts longer, but this is not bad on how long it lasts either. So original formula is definitely my go-to. And if you wanted something really deep and dark and a little bit creamier, Sephora Collection has some really good options. This one's in the shade Molasses, so as you can see, it's a lot deeper and darker. It doesn't last as long, but it lasts decent, especially for the price. If you're still here, leave a heart emoji in the comments. So we're gonna talk about a few setting sprays. So the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray, long lasting. Sets your makeup really great, helps your makeup to sort of melt into the skin a little bit, but long lasting. You'll get at least 2-3 extra hours on the wear of your makeup with this. My second favorite, it's sort of hard to pick between these two, but the LYS Natural Finish Setting Spray is so good. Now with this one, you want to back away from the face a little bit further. When you spray it on your face and let it dry, it gives you like this soft matte, it mattifies your makeup just a little bit, but it helps your makeup to be even more long lasting than the Charlotte Tilbury. So if you have dry skin, this one may not be for you. If you need something more powerful, like through sweat, if it's the summertime and you're going to a festival, one of those type of things, the One Size Until Dawn setting spray is it. This is like what performers wear on stage. Now this one's in an aerosol can, so it sprays like that, kind of like that hairspray type, but this is like how I said with the Danessa Myricks Yummy Balm for if you have oily skin, you need your makeup to last. This is also for oily skin when you need your makeup to last. So Really great option if you need that super long lasting makeup. And then a newer one that I've been using this year is the Urban Decay All Nighter. It has hyaluronic acid in it with watermelon fruit extract, so keep that in mind. But it's another one that gives you some great wear, all day wear, long lasting without looking dry. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. Comment down below, let me know what are some of your favorite products that you're looking forward to picking up during the sale. I'll have everything I mentioned linked down below in the description box, so I do want to encourage you guys to shop through those links. If you're new here, welcome. I would love for you to come join the family by hitting the subscribe button. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. 'Cause I've been where you are. You're too scared to show me love. 'Cause too fresh with the scars.